Mr. Justin Dilly.
Hello there. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. Happy Friday,
Happy
February
Friday.
20th.
Yes, it's apparently really warm in Atlanta.
Yeah, it is warm in Atlanta. Are you not back
No, you can't tell by my Pacific Northwest fit
by your
that
garb?
that I'm still in Seattle. But I come back today. So drastic change. But had some PTO and jumping back into everything multifamily. So
Awesome. Well,
some news.
we're on episode
75.
75.
That's
We're
a nice,
three-quarters of the way there, and we got
nice
some breaking
solid
news.
Yeah, what happened today?
Yeah, like an hour ago.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court has ruled that Trump's tariffs are illegal. The emergency tariffs that he attempted to push through, which he did push through and collected billions of dollars of revenue for the federal government, have been ruled illegal. We don't know what's going to happen to the revenue collected, but that means a couple things, right? So assuming that these don't get reversed or, obviously they'll be challenged, but it's going to be cheaper supplies, cheaper pencils, right? We can start penciling in more projects, budgets will start to look a little bit better, less inflation pressure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, definitely. We'll probably see some movement in markets and such after this once things kind of.
Can't wait for my coffee prices to go down. I'll tell you that much.
Yes, especially if you're French pressing it. Expensive.
That
beans.
I do.
Where's your beans from today?
Colombia. These are Colombian bees. It's a natural wash process, of course.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
As one does, but funny enough, in breaking news that I didn't share with you before the show, because I never like to surprise you. I always like to, I we're three-quarters of the way through the show, and I figured I'd show this photo of you eating three-quarters of a pie. So no, we're three-quarters of the way through 100. So I wanted to graphically show you earlier this week just pummeling through a pie.
That's horrible.
This is you on vacation, right? You wear a suit on vacation, but during work days.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm all like this. But I do like pie. We don't have to look at it anymore. We can move on to the next thing. That's horrible. If my son sees that, I'm in trouble.
Well, the good news is I asked it to be cherry pie, and I asked it to keep going and to be more messy, the GPT, and it basically said it violates my guidelines on violence. So it knew I wasn't trying to make it look like blood, but it assumed I was trying to make it look like blood.
Yeah. Getting smarter and smarter.
Speaking of blood in the water, we just wanted to bring a real fun update. Norway, as predicted on the prediction markets, is still crushing it in the Winter Olympics, as they do. The U.S. has barely eked over Italy, the host nation.
Yes, very cool. Yeah, I was actually in the Pacific Northwest. There is a town called affectionately known as Little Norway that I stopped through on the way back to Seattle from Olympic National Park.
Hey, Justin, I don't know. Hello. Welcome to episode 75, where we're still figuring things out.
We're still figuring. Just when we thought we had everything done, this is kind of nice. This is like old times, Eric.
Yeah, this is old times. For anyone who doesn't know, we started the show like 3-4 minutes ago, and then everything just shut down. Absolutely everything just shut down. The service stopped. Justin and I had to come back in. I don't know if this is an AWS thing. Who knows? AWS has been having issues this week. But let's kick into
Let's kick it off.
75. Well, look at this.
This is the best way to start it.
This is the way that we should start the episode. Yes,
Yeah.
we are 75 out of 100, and I thought the best way to show our rise to 100 episodes was to have Justin crushing this piece of pie that he had just this week.
Yeah, just on vacation, just 3/4 of the way. I saved you a slice, Eric. It despite the picture, I actually used a knife because because even that picture, it's like it's a very clearly cut piece of pie, yet it's all over me. So
sure, Justin. Well, the
so
actual breaking news is that Donald Trump's tariffs, his emergency tariffs, have been ruled illegal.
Yes,
not allowed.
Just recent. These breaking news happened today. How do we feel about this? What do you think's gonna? Well,
it was a 6-3 vote, so a majority vote by the Supreme Court. It's good news for multifamily. It's good news for real estate. It's good news for a lot of industries that have been, really dealing with the pain of having to take on these tariffs. Tariffs affect, in 99 out of 100 cases, it affects the importer, not the exporter. So these tariffs have been generating lots of revenue for the federal government. Who knows how they will be paid back, if they're going to be paid back, but I guarantee you there will be an appeal.
Yeah. But it's at any rate, right? It's encouraging. It helps people be a little more bullish, and hopefully, as these things are, hopefully removed, and things can move a little faster. You can spend a little bit differently.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get rid of the surprises. Housing relies on predictability, right? We can't just snap our fingers and put up 100 units in 60 days. Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet. We'll get to that later on.
Some other updates in our country and around the world, right? We wanted to share some Olympic stats.
Yeah.
Top 5 countries with the gold medals.
Yeah, Norway still cruising as they do. They just have cold winter all the time up there, which is why they just do so well.
Yeah,
but the U.S. is narrowly beating the host nation currently.
Yeah,
I would argue we're neck and neck there in the Netherlands and Germany.
Yeah, very exciting times. The Olympics are always fun to watch. I've been watching. Every time I go to watch it, curling is on, it seems. It's like all I'm seeing. Today, it marks a special day. February 20th, 1998 is when Tara Lipinski won the gold and broke a record for being the youngest skater.
She actually practiced at a gym or an ice rink right nearby me in Michigan, where I grew up. I skated on that ice rink, so she was a huge impact for where I lived in Michigan.
Yeah, well, and if you're watching the current season of Traitors, she's also still surviving up to this week. I haven't watched yesterday's episode, but she's still surviving. A lot of records. Also, John Glenn, who's from my neck of the woods. He's from Ohio. I actually met him in 3rd grade. He broke the record, set a record in 1962 for orbiting the Earth 3 times in Friendship 7.
Wow.
Yeah. Big deal for space. It was a big step.
Yeah. That's amazing. Well, how about what other innovative things are out there?
Well,
right? This is all about innovation, right?
Yeah, we're gonna do 3 orbits around the industry in honor of John Glenn's 3 orbits. We're gonna do 1 on innovation,
I love it.
1 on operation, and 1 on restoration. So there was big news. I guess it was yesterday. I think I'm a little off my time being on PTO. But there was some big innovative news yesterday. What was it?
Yeah. So Funnel had partnered up with BH, and they were trying to figure out, well, how do we remove all the friction from making rent payments, right? How do we make it like the easiest thing? As easy as Googling. Well, in this case, it's as easy as using ChatGPT. A gentleman by the name of James, who lives at a BH property, was able to make his rent payment through ChatGPT.
Yes, and just a disclaimer from the content side, we're not suggesting that James consists his diet consists only of junk food.
No, I just wanted
But
to demonstrate how lazy one could be
right, right,
at also paying rent. James
exactly.
is definitely more of a Skittles fan than M&M's
Okay,
fan. So
okay,
yeah,
yes. But yeah, you could be, I mean, you barely have to do anything, right? You could be laying on the couch with your Doritos and easily processing a payment now, essentially.
yeah. So the jury's still out on GPT in terms of searching, right? Everyone's talking about Claude or whatever, Chat GPT, and whatever you're using. The amount of searches is one thing, right? That's pre-leasing. This is, you're using it to pay your rent. Like at a
Mhm.
certain point, we're going to be using these as our agents to, hey, take a look at this bill for me and can you argue it down? I've used GPTs to do that. I've used it to knock down, my retail internet bill.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's still it's fascinating to me because we serve such a wide type of population, right? And there's still people, and not just older people, but there's a whole generation that is now moving back to analog stuff. They don't want to use a lot of digital credit. A lot of they want the cash or they want that. I've just ran into folks actually on my trip this week that I'm seeing people. They're like, no, I hardly ever pay with a digital card. I always use cash. And I'm like, that's crazy. And those people may own houses, but they're also renters too, right?
Yep. 100%. And that's why Built has been quite successful.
Mhm.
Menify likewise, where, renters, guess what? They spend lots of money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. All right, that's orbit number one. Orbit number two, we're going to talk about operation, which we talk operations a lot in the industry. It's kind of what moves. Somebody put a nice little kind of thought piece together. Megan Banks kind of did a post. I'm trying to sum it up. Basically, finding a balance, finding that middle space in operations. How far between the weeds or macro? How micro or macro can you get? Where do you find that middle ground? Eric, what say you in your world? Like, how do you, how do you lean on one way or the other, or how do you approach something in terms of finding that balance as either for yourself or for your team you work with,
Yeah.
or
I mean, for me, it's just, what is the ultimate goal, right? And understanding that if it's a BHAG, right? If it's a big, hairy, audacious goal, oftentimes there's like, you gotta first learn how to crawl and then you learn how to walk and then you learn how to run. And
yeah,
oftentimes when you have a team and you're trying to do all that together, that's tough. You got to get everyone on the same page. So,
yeah,
in terms of reaching those goals, we break everything down, break it all down into smaller parts, knock out the easy stuff, knock out the smaller things, and then build that momentum towards the future. So for me, it's a combination of like, hey, do we have enough time to get all this stuff done? We've done enough analyzing here, right? And strategizing. You're never going to have all of the facts
no,
ever.
no, and I think that's you hit the nail on the head there, which is the more that you can remove yourself from the minutia of the facts and find people that you trust to gather some groups of that minutia and facts, the better off that you'll be. I think so many leaders oftentimes will step in and they want to get into that nitty gritty, and somebody's already been living it for 2 years, and it's like, no, you just need to just listen to what they're saying, and then listen to what this other person's saying, and listen to that, and then synthesize all of that, right? I think that is a harder, easier said than done for sure, because we're so data driven that we want that detail. We're programmed to want that detail, and a
Yeah.
lot of things don't. You can't do a case study on every choke point in a process, because then you're just analyzing. You're in this analytical loop, right?
Yeah, this is true. And if you are with a company that's large enough, like an MRI, for example, you can have people who their job is to analyze those choke
Hmm.
points, and that's their job. But it should not restrict you from taking action and moving forward.
Right.
So, I'm curious what other operators are doing. But
Yeah.
how
Yeah, and
do you
how
think?
yeah.
I mean, how do you think leaders are staying connected without disempowering their teams, right? I mean, that's a tough. There's that line that we're talking about here of like, what is interference and what is support? How do you do that?
Yeah. And here's a good question. If you had to choose one direction to go, the zoom out or the zoom in, if you had to, which would create more value, do you think, in the long run for a company?
Yeah, I mean, I think companies have enough visionaries sometimes. Like, it depends on the company you're in. In the startup world, usually there's a lot of visionaries in the beginning, and you need people to just get shit done. People just get shit done and knock things out. Even if you're going the wrong direction, you'll eventually figure it out and then go back to the right direction.
Right.
But if you just,
I agree with that
if you just,
too. Because in the end, right, if you're talking about going 1,000 feet and you don't go anywhere, but then you actually just go 100 feet, you actually went somewhere. And so I think that's a very, very good point.
Yeah. The good news is I've confirmed we are live, by the way.
Oh, we are.
we are live.
We're not just in our. Okay, good. Well, that's great because we're on our third and final orbit. Just like John Glenn, he did 3 around the Earth. We're doing 3 around the industry. The last one is one that we don't talk about a lot, restoration, but it is a big deal in our real estate industry. There's a lot of readaptive, reuse projects. There's a lot of, preservation projects. And this gentleman, Jeremy Edwards, he was responsible. I think he has a pretty extensive architect background. He was responsible for a project that preserved the Woolworth Building. And he noticed a gap in marketing that project, probably for upcoming leases. And again, I don't know this building, if it was residential or mixed use or just solely commercial. But he was saying that, part of the story is really to show like what is valued in redeveloping this. Why is this an important place to be? What went into it that aligns with like not just how great a space this is or what a great deal it is, but also the history that goes into that and where you might want to align as a resident or a tenant in those spaces, which I thought was a very interesting thing.
Yeah, I just bringing Susan's comments up on here, right? The devil's in the details. Yeah,
100%. And and in things like this, these details of like a project, it is important, right? If you're gonna make your headquarters somewhere, those details are important. Especially if these are kind of redaptive or restored buildings.
Love it.
Yep. And that's our orbits.
Woo.
That's our orbits. So anything before we get into a few industry highlights, anything else that came across your busy desk these days?
Yeah, I just think I'm still thinking about these tariffs. I think that's going to be a massive thing here. I will call this the Rumspringer.
Well, we're definitely going to see a lot of people talking about this, posting about this, writing about this, speaking about this, like in the weeks to come.
I think the next 3 to 6 weeks, it'll be a big deal, whether or not it ultimately, whether or not it moves the needle and has, a whole acquisition team go, all right, yep, let's move forward. We're moving forward with this project. I think that it's a rubber band effect, by the time you stretch it back all the way and finally, eventually you'll let go and then you'll see the reaction happen. But for now, I'm just excited that it could potentially open up the right can of worms for us to go fishing in real estate. Okay, enough with those analogies.
Oh no, don't stop. They keep going.
Don't stop till you get it.
All right.
Yeah, let's talk about these highlights. Multi-family demo day. I had a single slide for that, but you didn't want to use it, I guess. But
I thought that was for last week, but it's all right. It's fine.
No, it's fine. So
It
multifamily
showed
demo day went.
everybody that yes,
It's fine. So
did you join
multifamily
it?
demo day had about 19 companies demoing over 2 half days. I don't know what number they're on right now for demo day, but just
I think it's over.
Well, no, I know it's over now.
Oh, how many they've had?
How many they've had? Like there's like a seventh one.
Yeah,
because now they're going every 6 months. But Brent Williams puts it on, with his team. I am not invited because I'm a vendor.
You have to pay.
I have to pay, although I could get in, but I won't.
No, last year I was a I don't know. I added commentary to it in the chat, like an excited person, like, ooh, like influencer. I don't want to. It's like I don't know what it was called.
Yeah, you
exactly.
Were an influencer. You're
totally
definitely an influencer.
Yeah. I'm trying to get this fisherman kind of garb to kind of catch on.
You were doing something on that West Coast over there.
But yeah, you can as a vendor, which I've MRI's partaken in demo day before, and I've joined it at least once. It's a very great time to get in front of folks. Very very short virtual meetings, different than a trade show because you're actually getting to demo, right? So at conferences, really, back in the day, conferences were demos. Like there were demos in the trade show booth. It was like people would go in, and that still exists, but that's way less of what happens at a conference now on a trade show floor. And so this is a great opportunity, to be able to showcase your product for a group of folks. People can kind of go in and go out. There is people that are tapped that give feedback directly to that. The Multifamily Insiders kind of curate a group of operators, leaders to kind of give feedback on it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, Dojo Gigapower. They are. I don't know if they're a direct competitor, but they partnered up. Of your internet subway, I have no idea.
They are. I believe they're competitors. But
their particular scaling is for fiber backed managed Wi-Fi.
Yeah, so, fiber. Everything should be fiber. I agree.
So they just partnered and they're trying to scale in the U.S. on target markets. So
I will. This proves that we are very agnostic here. This is a
100%
for the company that I work with, and we're more than happy to share the news. That's
always, always. And award and kickoff season. Probably noticed a lot of that in our feeds, and probably just if you were traveling, you might have been somewhere. There was a lot of SKOs, GKOs, start of the year alignments, awards from 2025, RPM, ZRS, Bazzuto, CoStar. A whole bunch of folks had different kinds of things going on. It obviously started in January, but it's been kind of trickling through.
Well, I have been reaching something while you've been talking.
I know you've been doing something else.
You know my blank stare. No, I speaking of internet, the MDU Awards put on by Mar Davis Research with Adlin. That's kicking off here the award season. That won't be announced until summer. But lots have been given out from the past year, 2025. That was all announced back in January and December, but now we're kicking it off again, right?
Yep.
Exactly. So excited to see who's gonna win.
Right.
Yeah. So I was pulling up a QR code for our multifamily deep dives.
Right. This is why I wore that. The deep sea fishing outfit is for this deep dive. We're still talking about our deep dive. We're very excited about who we're lining up. We'd love to line up some more folks for specific sessions that go beyond just a 5-minute little spot here in the news of what's going on. But if you wanted to go beyond that, it's kind of like 2020. Was that my 2020? I don't know how Barbara Walters used to say that, but
I'm not even going to
2020.
attempt it.
It was funny, but anyway, this is a deep dive. Eric, you're going to put this QR code up. You look very focused.
I am going to. I am trying to find the image, but at this point, analysis paralysis says just put the dang QR code up. Yeah.
There it is.
There you go. Done. It's ugly, but it
MF
works.
Deep Dives.
MF
yes.
Deep Dives. It's not. I even spelled it wrong. It's deep dive. Yeah. So basically, we are diving in a little bit deeper in conversation. So we had Blue Ridge Roofing. 2 weeks ago, we did the interview and we were able to pop it out within a week. It took me more time to come up with the logo almost than it did to execute the content.
Well, I mean, you had help on one of the sides and less help on the other side.
This is true.
So...
This is true.
But yes, it was a fun chat. A lot of looking forward to a lot more of these more deeper conversations, whether we do it virtually or if you're coming to an event that we're both at, like RecCon or something in the future. It would be great to talk with you there.
Yeah, I can't wait, and we will be at RecCon.
We will.
FYI,
we will.
Coming up soon, 3 weeks. Well, I think this is
it for the week. Enjoy. Oh, someone scanned the QR code. That's good. That's always a good
right
thing.
at the last moment there.
This is a good week to remember 1998. Tara Lipinski's had a moment of wonder, setting the goal to be the youngest. So go break some records, be the first to process something else using AI in your community, or be the first in your company to use Copilot, or
don't be the first to be fired for using a GPT.
Yes.
Representing the USA, Tara Lipinski.
All right, that's enough things I can't do for the week.
All right. Have a